Alrighty, hello everybody. It is day 4 of our brand new solo adventure on an official PvP server, and for this episode we do have some new developments regarding the current state of this series. So it might not seem like it, but we are actually on a completely new official server than the one that we have been playing on since we started this series. That server unfortunately has been completely annihilated by multiple cheaters. No one's around anymore. There's maybe like 2 to 4 people that still play there, but that's not enough to make an exciting series. So I did have to switch over to this new one, which has a decent population. The good news is that I already spent the morning leveling up this new character and gearing myself up just like I did in the first 2 episodes, and we're basically at the same point where we left off on the last server. If I'm being completely honest, I'm not sure how long we have until this server suffers the same fate as the other one, since there's a severe infestation of cheaters on officials, but we're gonna try and make the most out of our time here and try and have some fun before the cheaters show up and do what they do. Anyway, since we are on a new server, what do you guys say we start our episode by doing a bit of roaming and looking for some clans to fight? First place we're gonna visit, as per usual, is gonna be Sinkhole. I'll see you guys there. We got 1 player here at Sinkhole. Let's see if they're up for a fight. That looks like a yes to me. Let's do it. First fight on this server. We got someone else teleporting in. That might be his clanmate. Oh yeah, they're together. 2v1. We're gonna need the higher ground for this one. If we stay on the ground, they're gonna have an easier time ganging up on us. Well, we are officially out of heals now. Might not make it out of this one. Man, this lag's been so bad for this fight. It's been getting hit with a lot of phantom hits and a lot of rubber banding. It's making this fight way more complicated than it needs to be. There we go, that's 1. Let's get the second one. There we go, finally. That took a while, but we got it done. So he is carrying a lot of farm. Thinking we'll just let him keep everything. I'm just gonna take the heals. Yeah, same for his clanmate. We'll just let him keep everything. We'll just take the heals because I'm pretty broke when it comes to that. We got another player showing up now. Yeah, he's definitely with this clan we just took down. Since we didn't take any other loot, we're gonna be in trouble real soon once the rest of the clan shows up again. Alright, so we're gonna try and lead him away from the obelisk so that we at least have some time to take this guy down before the rest of the clan catches up. Alright, here we go. You guys ready? Let's do it. This time we'll just take Musashi's blade and a few more heals and we'll leave the rest. Alright, we're gonna head back to base real quick and depot all these heals, and then we'll come back and see if we can continue this battle. Well, that didn't take very long. I just checked the player list and 2 known speed hackers just logged into the server just now. I hope I'm wrong, but it's looking like this server is about to suffer the same fate as the previous one. So since there's 2 speed hackers on the loose right now, I think I'm just gonna call it for the day and do a bit of editing instead, and just check back on the server in a few days once chapter 4 comes out. Hopefully by then they'll have gotten bored and moved on to another server, and we can continue this episode and check out chapter 4. We got a player here. They're following us. Do they want to fight? Looks like it. So it looks like he was farming for bombs. We'll leave his farm, but we'll take the armor since it could come in handy for future raids. You know what, not a bad day after all. Despite the cheater joining the server, we did have some fun fights today. We'll be back in a few days and check out chapter 4, so I'll see you guys then. Alrighty, good morning everybody. It's been a few days now and we're finally back on the server once again, and as you can see by the beam of light in the horizon, today is a very special day. Chapter 4 of the Age of War has officially been released, and we're here to check out some of the new additions and changes that this update has brought to the world of Conan. So first things first, let's just go ahead and check out the main attraction of this update, which is a special event known as the Sacred Hunt. I'm not too familiar with the lore behind this event, but I do know that you're basically going to be fighting up against 3 of Jablsok's champions, and once you defeat those 3 bosses, you'll be going up against the Grand Champion, which is the main boss of this event. So yeah, we have a lot of boss fights ahead of us today. We'll complete this event first, and then later in the video, once we're done with this, we'll go ahead and explore some of the new major changes that this update has brought to the PvP side of Conan. Alright, so in order to even get started with this event, we do need to wait until nighttime because we're supposed to get attacked by some monster that only comes out at night, and once we kill it, it's gonna drop some items which we need in order to progress with this event. So in the meantime, while we wait for nighttime, we're just gonna start making our way to the beam of light, which is kind of where this whole event takes place. Here we are. This is where the beam of light originates from. Here you can talk to this lady and she can fill you in on all the lore behind this event. And also, if you don't want to get attacked by these monsters at night, you can just opt out of the event here as well. Now this guy here, he sells all the stuff that you basically need to participate in this event, like the war paint and the champion lure. And in order to initially buy these, we're gonna need at least 11 narrowed fangs, which we can get from those monsters that come out at night. Anyway, now that we have checked out the main location for the Sacred Hunt, I'm just gonna chill here for a bit and wait until nighttime so that we can officially get started with this event. Alrighty, so it is just about nighttime. The sun just finished setting. I'm gonna start walking around now and see if we get ambushed by this new sacred hunt creature that's supposed to come out only at night. Check it out, there he is, right on cue. Let's go ahead and take him out. So not the strongest monster, it doesn't really put up much of a fight, but he is the one that's gonna give us the first narrowed fangs that we need to get this event going. This first one only gave us 3 and we need at least 11 to even get started. We also get a hunter's satchel which has a few random stuff, and if you get lucky you might also get some more fangs from it. Let's see if it gives us anything good if we farm it. No, nothing special, just some hyena pelt, not really worth farming. So I have asked a few people in global chat who are also doing this event, and it seems like you'll only get ambushed by this creature once per night. So that means that at least initially, you won't really be able to speedrun your way to the boss fights. We're gonna need to wait a few night cycles before we can even get to the fun part of this event. So in the meantime, while I wait for the next night cycle, I'm just gonna do a few chores around the house and I'll just see you guys in the next round. Alrighty everybody, nighttime is officially upon us once again. Let's go ahead and roam around for a little bit and wait for it to show up. There it is. What do we get? This time we get 4 instead of 3. So I guess it can vary. That's nice. We got a higher roll this time, but no extra narrowed fangs from the satchel. So that is 7 total. We need at least 4 more. So hopefully the next round we get another 4 fangs. That way we don't have to wait for a 4th night because that's a little bit too much waiting. Okay, we're back for round 3 a little bit late. Hopefully we didn't just miss this night cycle. I was off on single player running a few tests on the new changes to the rolling thrust perk, which we'll talk more about later in this video. Alright, perfect. We made it just in time. Almost missed it. Okay, so that is 3 from this one. That makes 10. We need 1 more. Let's go ahead and check the satchel. There it is, the satchel coming through. We get the extra fang we need. Nice, no need for a 4th night. Man, I'm so glad we don't have to wait for another night. If you're trying to do this all in one just like me, it's a pretty time consuming event. It's probably been about an hour just waiting and we haven't even gotten started yet. Well, at least now we're good to go. Let's go ahead and buy the champion lure and the war paint. There it is. That's all we need to get started. Now we're finally ready to fight the first champion. Let's go. We're gonna start with the one that I would consider to be the most difficult and annoying one out of the 3. This one is the mammoth, which is located right outside the Frost Temple. They don't have the obelisk attuned there yet, so I am gonna have to walk all the way there. Alright, here we are. We have made it to the Frost Temple. I'm just gonna attune my bracelet first so I don't have to walk here again. Oh, and check that out. Looks like there's already a player here. And they're wearing heavy Silent Legion armor. We might just get ganked right now and lose all of our stuff. Let's hope they didn't see us. Looks like they might be AFK right now. Fortunately, I didn't bring any armor with me since you're supposed to fight all these champions completely naked, but I guess I could have still brought some and just not wear it during the fights. So I messed up there and now we're kind of left defenseless. Look at that, we have another player showing up now. Seems like it's their clanmate. So I'm guessing they're either here to do the event just like we are, or they're just here to power level. Yeah, they're here to power level. So we might have to wait until they're fully done. That could be a while. Here they go. They're going into the temple now. Guess now we're just gonna have to wait some more, right? Alright, you know what? I don't think I can wait till they're done leveling. So we're just gonna risk it. We're gonna fight this boss while they're inside. And if they come out and kill us and take our event stuff, we'll just have to live with that regret. Okay, so that's where we place the champion lore. I'm gonna equip the war paint now. which is going to allow us to do significant damage to these champions which have an outrageous amount of HP. We also can't wear any armor during this fight, or else the buff from the war paint is not going to be activated. Yep, there it is. We got the challenger buff from the war paint. Now we can actually do some damage. Here we go. Godspeed to us. Hopefully we don't get ganked by the clan inside. Here he comes. There it is, the giant mammoth. Not off to a good start. Let's try again. This thing is so loud, I'm sure they can hear it inside. It's only a matter of time before they come out. Alright, we're barely halfway there, but still no sign of the clan, thankfully. And of course, he would reset when we need this fight to end quickly. Honestly though, the Great Axe, probably not the best weapon to be fighting bosses with. Something like an agility weapon would be nice, like some daggers to bleed them out would be good. Make this go a whole lot quicker. Oh, someone else is coming. We really need to end this fight quick. This area is way too active right now. There we go. My goodness. That took forever. I just knew this one would be an absolute pain to deal with, just because of its size and its weird hitbox. Not to mention all the players passing by here just made this fight way more nerve-wracking. Alright, let's go hide real quick. These guys are about to come out. Okay, so we ended up getting 18 narrowed fangs, which we're gonna need to reinvest into buying another champion lure to fight the next champion. We also got the brand of the mammoth, which we're gonna need later on when we go fight the grand champion. Oh, and check this out, we literally defeated the mammoth at the perfect time. They just came out of the temple. We had just taken an extra minute, things could have gone real bad for us. We might have been sent back to the beginning of this event. Alright, so now that we have defeated the first champion and we have some extra narrowed fangs, we're gonna head back to the event location and purchase another champion lure. Okay, here we are back at it. We're just here to buy another champion lure. And I'm thinking next we'll hit up the champion located by the Black Galleon. This next one here is going to be much easier to deal with than the giant mammoth. There it is, just a simple rhino. Let's go ahead and take it down. There we go, super easy, no complications whatsoever. It's just like fighting a regular rhino, except it has way more HP. Now that we have the brand of the rhino and some more narrowed fangs, we're gonna make our way back to the event location once again. Yeah, so at least for the first time running this event, there's gonna be a lot of waiting around and a lot of walking back and forth because you're only gonna have enough narrowed fangs to buy one champion lure at the time, unfortunately. Alright, here we are at the third and final champion location. This one is going to be a Panther, which is going to be a little bit more difficult than the Rhino, but nowhere near as tedious as the Mammoth. There it is, here we go. Yeah, so it's going to be that lunge that's going to be the tricky part about fighting this Panther, but if you can avoid it, you'll be okay. There we go, that is the third and final regular champion, left us all covered in blood, but now we're finally ready to combine all the brands of the champions and take on the ultimate grand champion. Now, in order to be able to fight the grand champion, we do need to craft a grand champion lure on this bench here, and it's going to consist of the 3 brands of the champions that we just fought, plus an additional champion lure. Now we wait, it shouldn't take too long. There it is, check it out, we got our champion lure. Now last thing we gotta do is buy this potion of the hunt. We'll drink it fast because it does have a timer, and this will teleport us to the Grand Champion. Here we are, the final stop of this event. Let's see how we do. This is a completely newly designed boss. Really excited to fight him for the first time. Alright, here we go, the moment we've all been waiting for. Let's fight the Grand Champion. Let me just cook up some heals before we start, just to be on the safe side. Here he comes. Look at that insane health bar. He's got that lunging attack too, just like the Panther. He also has that 4-piece combo. We gotta be careful with that one. Don't wanna get caught with it. There it is again. Yeah, see what I mean? You really don't want to get caught with that. It hits super hard and he kind of stun locks you in place after he hits you. We're almost halfway there. So far, no major issues. I'll get hit a few times here and there, but nothing too difficult. He just has a lot of HP and the hitbox of its attack can still hit you sometimes even though you're out of range. Alright, we're officially halfway there. He just entered the next stage. Let's see if he has any new attacks. So not much of a difference for this next stage. His attacks just kind of have a blue aura to them, but that's about it. Okay, I think I finally figured him out. Just gotta wait for his charge attack and move out of the way, and then just sprint and attack him from behind, and maybe squeeze in another attack and then just roll out of the way and repeat until he's dead. There we go, all done. This guy's a pretty cool boss. Not the most difficult since it is a Conan boss. They're very predictable, but I would say I had a much harder time with the giant mammoth up north. So for this boss, we're definitely going to want to farm him because he does give you a tablet of power. And just for anyone that doesn't know, a tablet of power is just an item that increases your knowledge points. So as you can see here, right now I have 193 knowledge points left, and if I consume the tablet of power, now I have 253, which is a big jump. Now we can learn more stuff at once if we need to, and we don't have to reset our knowledge points as often. Alrighty, so we're gonna get out of here now and go talk to the merchant outside and see if there's anything that we can buy with these extra narrowed fangs that we have. So a lot of these recipes that you buy as rewards, they're super pricey, costing like 1,000, 500, 300 narrowed fangs. We barely have 66 right now just from one run. So I'm guessing that you're expected to farm this event over and over and over if you want any of these recipes. And what sucks is that they're not even considered ancestral knowledge, at least at the time of this recording. So if you were to start fresh on a new server, you'd have to farm this event all over again if you wanted a specific recipe. Doesn't really seem worth the trouble, to be honest, especially in PvP since servers are just always constantly dying. So yeah, I think we have pretty much covered the Sacred Hunt. There is an alternative way to fight a much tankier version of the Grand Champion, but we're not gonna bother with that since it's much more time consuming than the way that we just did it. For that version, you gotta redo everything that we just did, plus fight an additional regular champion, and then you gotta wait an entire 24 hours just to be able to fight the tankier Grand Champion. It's a pretty long process that I'm just not willing to do a second time. One time is good enough for me. So now that we are done with the Sacred Hunt, let's talk about some of the new changes that Chapter 4 has brought to the PvP side of Conan. So the two major changes that are going to impact the PvP meta are: 1. Stamina regeneration has been nerfed in order to help combat the infinite roll. Stamina now begins regenerating 1 second instead of 1 millisecond after consuming or exhausting your stamina supply. I'm not sure how much of a difference that's gonna make, but we'll try and test it out in some fights in just a bit. Now, as for the second and most impactful change is that rolling thrust has been severely nerfed. It no longer grants you a stamina free hit after every roll. You now only get 25% increased armor penetration. This is a massive change because almost every PvPer relied on that stamina free hit after every roll, since attacks became so stamina costly when the Age of War was released. So it's going to be really interesting to see what new attribute builds come out as a result of this nerf. We're going to go get geared up now and do a bit of PvP testing of our own. I'll see you guys in a second. Okay, so before we go out and look for some players to fight, let's talk about what we're going to be doing in regards to rolling thrust. So I made a poll on my YouTube channel and asked you guys if you were going to be sticking with rolling thrust or maybe switching over to double jump for your final agility perk. And as of right now, there's 69 votes in, and a surprising 58% of you said that you would be switching over to double jump. After seeing these results, I kind of want to test out the double jump now because I can see how it can be useful, especially as a solo that's outnumbered in a fight. You can use it to jump on top of something much easier and at least pop a heal to keep yourself alive a little bit longer. Yeah, I'm really curious to see the effects of not having that 25% increased armor pen from rolling thrust, especially as a great axe user myself. The Star Metal Great Axe doesn't have the best armor pen to begin with, so I guess we'll see how much less damage we do now. Oh, and one of you also brought up a really good point in the comments and said that instead of maxing out your agility at 20 points, maybe invest the remaining points after unlocking the quick-footed perk into something else. And that could work too. Maybe invest the 5 extra points into grit instead, so you can unlock the tenacity perk, which gives you 40 points in armor and an additional 20 into stamina, which sounds perfect now that you gotta pay for every attack, and since stamina regens slower. Yeah, there's lots of new stuff to try out because of this nerf. I'm sure by the time this video goes live, it'll be a few weeks into chapter 4. There will most likely be a new meta established already, but since it's only day 1 for me, we're just trying to figure it out now. Alright, so we'll go ahead and start roaming now and look for some players to fight so we can test out some of these new combat changes. We got a player up here. Can't let him get away. We've been at this for 4 hours, haven't been able to find a single fight. Let's get him. Oh no, that's unfortunate. Well, let me see. I'm gonna try and challenge him just straight up. Hopefully he accepts. Good news, he's accepted our challenge. We finally have our first fight of chapter 4. Let's do it. See, this is the cool thing about double jump. You can get up things fast and just heal up. Alright, so that was somewhat of a tricky first fight. He moves really fast and has some really good defensive movement, which made it really difficult to land anything more than just a single attack at a time. I also kept running out of stamina a lot. It felt like I couldn't do more than one attack in a row at a time before running out completely. Honestly, as fun as it's been to be doing parkour all over the Exile lands with double jump, I think I might actually get rid of it and just invest the extra 5 points into grit just for that tenacity perk. I think I could really use those extra 20 points in stamina so that I could at least do 2 attacks and 2 rolls before running out of stamina. Alright, so he asked for a rematch. We'll go ahead and have another fight. He'll give us a chance to adjust to the new stamina management. Here we go. Oh, it's super laggy. He's teleporting. Alright, we'll probably have one more fight once he's back and then we'll call it a night since I'm pretty burned out right now. I'm not sure how much I'll show of that walking simulator footage, but it literally took us 4 hours just to find an opponent today since we were back at Sinkhole earlier. I honestly thought this new update would bring a lot more players in, but servers haven't been the most active today, sadly. Okay, here we go. Final fight of the night. Let's do it. Okay, we are out of heals now, and we have 10 stack disease. Things aren't looking so good. That was a close one. It is just such a nightmare to fight these punching daggers in a laggy environment. I'm so glad it's over. Alrighty guys, so that is going to be it for these fights. I would have liked to have fought some other players and tried out some other builds, but that's going to have to wait for another episode because like I said, I'm pretty burned out already. It's been a really long day. I do want to say thank you to the player that we just fought. I appreciate you being the only one willing to have some fights today. Now, as for my first impressions on the new combat, you definitely run out of stamina very fast now. I still have the muscle memory from the old rolling thrust where I still roll before attacking sometimes. That wastes some really precious stamina, so I'm really gonna need to rewire my brain again and get rid of that. I'm also gonna try out that grit build that I talked about just so that I can at least do 2 attacks and 2 rolls per stamina bar, and I think I should be okay with that. We'll definitely try it out in the next episode. Anyway, with all that said, that's going to be it for day 4 of our solo adventure. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and if you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It really helps out the channel. And yeah, I'll just see you guys on day number 5. Take care, everyone.